Everybody's doing candle holders. I thought I would get in on the act, but I'm going to do something very different. At least I've not seen this one before. And we'll see what I can do here. I don't know how this is going to work. I'm not sure if I can get this to work like I want it to. I was actually looking for one of these tea lights like this, the electronic ones, that have that little plastic flame already on it, but I couldn't find those. Didn't want to wait and order them off of Amazon, so I went out and picked this up at the local store here. And what I'm going to try to do is make this look more like a flame right in here, so that it maybe I can get it to look like a campfire. So I'm going to start by putting like a blob right there in the center. I'm going to let that dry a little bit and come back, and I'll just keep adding more to this until I get the look that I want out of here. Here's what I did. Let's see if this will work. I don't know if you guys are going to be able to see this on here. So I'm putting a little bit of this on. Then I'm taking this nail and I'm going to try to move this around and hopefully get this stuff to dry in a flame shape. I'm just sort of twisting it as I go. It doesn't have to be perfect, but I just want it to be able to look like a campfire. And yeah, this is clear right now. I will put a little bit of maybe some orange, maybe some yellow, just to give it a flame look, but I don't want to put much in there because this does have a light on it, and that has that yellowish orange cast to it. And this is the part I don't like, is these strands that come off of here. Pain in the butt. I think I'm going to leave that where it is right now, and we'll see what we get once I get going a little bit further. I'm going to let that dry. I have a feeling what happens is that's going to dry more like this this frosted color like this. So we'll see what happens. Here's the next piece to this puzzle. Just a chunk of wood. I'm not even sure what this is. I just got it in my found wood pile, so to speak. And I want it to be deep enough so that if I put this down in here, that it'll sit inside and it's not going to go all the way through. So it's just barely going to fit down in there. So what I'll do is I'll get a Forstner bit and I'm going to go ahead and drill a hole in here so that this fits right in here. That'll be the first part. And yes, candle holder, but keep your eye out. There we are. It just sits right down in here, just like so. It's just a little bit up above it, but that's all right, because once you see what I'm going to do here, you'll see that that's just fine. The next thing I want to do is I want this to be rounded. So I need to come around all of this like so, just to give it a thin edge all the way around it. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to rough that on my, I'll rough that out on my bandsaw, and then I'll just take it over to my belt sander and we'll round that off. Actually, I'm not even going to do that because I don't need to. You'll see why in a second. I keep saying you'll see why in a second, obviously. There it is. What do you think? I think that looks pretty good. I'm all right with that. Also, just so you can see, there's how that little flame turned out. Way better. Way better. Anyhow, all right, let's do some carving on this thing. So I'm sure you can kind of see what we have going on here. Kind of like a fire pit. We're going to put this in here. We're going to light it up. I'm going to put some sticks around here as if this is a fire pit. So What I'm going to do now, I just changed over to the ball tip on here, and I'm going to go ahead and get these to look more like stones, and we'll continue on. So I kind of roughed that up so it looks more like stones. And now I'm going to just kind of clean it up a little bit so there's none of that little furry stuff sticking up around there. Oop. And we're just going to clean up the top a little bit. So that didn't take long at all. What I'm going to do next is put some weathered gray stain on here so that hopefully we can bring out, let it get dark in here and wipe it off on here so it's more of a stone looking piece and that I have the darker inner parts there. So, all right, let's see how this looks. This the stain doesn't look real good in here. It looks like it's been in there way too long, but I'm going to use it anyhow. It's kind of thick, but again, once I get it all wiped off, I think I should be okay. So we're just going to get this all in here, make sure we get it down in those cracks, because that's where I really want to be able to see it down in there. You can see how chunky this is. Now, wipe it all off out here. All right, so it didn't do exactly what I want. However, I can kind of cheat on this one. All right, let's see if I can do it with this. It's just a little wire wheel on here. It's not doing what I want. We're going to try the good old flap sander. I think if we would focus, I like that. That looks pretty good. We'll keep it. All right, so then what we do is turn this little guy on. And there he is. A little bit of light coming up through there. Not done yet though. We're getting there.
Hey there. It's me from a couple of weeks later. After doing these, and I got this stuff all posted, I got it all ready to go. And in the meantime, I made some more because some people saw what I did. They wanted some, so I made 4 or 5 more of these things. But what I did is I don't know if you can see that. Hopefully that'll focus for you. I've painted it. I painted the base just with some black acrylic because I felt too much light was coming through. Now the light still does come through this black, but it looks more like a charcoal kind of thing, which you would see at the bottom of a fire. So make that adjustment. At least that's what I feel looks better. You can do what you want. If you like, do it both ways and just see what you like better. But I do like that matte black. It gives it a much better look. So let's go on. Let's go back to the video.
So I went out and I cut up these tiny little sticks. And I'm going to put them in here and make this look more like a campfire. And I'm just going to use CA glue, super glue, whatever you want to call it. And I'm going to just put that in here like so. And just slowly just start putting these things on here. They're going to just kind of be all over the place. I'm going to try to make it look as best I can like a campfire, like what you would see with the sticks all built up nice for a nice fire. And we'll see what happens. There it is.